Oh shit, my light. God damn it. Okay, third time's a charm, right? Every time I go to do my makeup, I end up, for like talking about one thing, or my hair for one thing, I end up completely changing it up about what I'm talking about. I'm Abby with MOTORCITYNERDS, and let's talk about What If. I'm gonna run through the first 5 episodes, and spoiler alert for everything, and I'm just gonna run through them of what me and Mom thought of them really quick, and just some basic thoughts. This isn't gonna be anything like crazy or nothing, but it's just like little stuff I think, and maybe things you'll find interesting. I don't know. The giveaway, everybody, at 300 subs, this is given away. Say that these are canon, so they are canon to the multiverse. Now remember, because I was telling Mom this, remember that they had Loki come out, so if you saw Loki and you know that we have all these branch timelines and all these other little timelines, that means on all these other little tiny branches, these little choices changed their universe, okay? That's all. It means, though, that they can run into people. They are now canon in the MCU, which I'm down for. I just was like, I thought this was just going to be a fun little series, but now it's like, oh no, this is tied in too, which is fine. Let's talk about Jeffrey Wright really quick, and I fucking love Jeffrey Wright. He plays Bernard in Westworld. He's about to be Commissioner Gordon in Batman. He voices the Watcher, and I'm loving the artwork that they're doing with the Watcher watching and all this, and that I find really cool, but Jeffrey Wright is the shit, the guy who voices him. It got cold up here really quick. So we have, what if Captain Carter was the first Avenger? So what if Peggy took the serum instead of Steve? And it's pretty much a run-through of Captain America, but I thought the montages were really well done. I thought the action was really well done, and this just shows how much animation can do, and it's really cool. I like it. But this episode to me and Mom was like, okay, this is cool. I get it. Funny how they want Howard Stark to take the serum first before her. I mean, I did like this episode a lot, and a lot of the messages in it. I liked it, but like I said, it was just like, okay, cool. But I thought that was funny. I like that they carried the dance thing over from our regular MCU universe timeline of you owe me a dance, this, that, and the other thing. I thought that was adorable. And so we get 2 run-throughs of beating ass, and I thought that was really cool. So we get Steve being the Hydra Stomper, which is like a first version of the Iron Man suit, which is really cool. And I liked the callback to the first Avengers movie when Iron Man and Cap are going at it, and he says everything special about you came out of a bottle, and he's like, you're a guy in an iron fucking suit, like, you're nobody to talk. But then Peggy says to him, it's not the suit, it's the man inside it, and we end up finding that out about Tony and about Steve, that it's different. You know what I mean? I liked that callback. I thought that was cool. We get Bucky, and I talk about this with Falcon and Winter Soldier, which me and Mom are going to do. We're going to do that in Black Widow together. But I like that Bucky in this is more of a character of himself and not the Winter Soldier, and I also like the little callback joke to that, because obviously in this universe he doesn't become the Winter Soldier because he doesn't fall off the train. Peggy saves him, but they make a joke saying, you almost tore my arm off. Haha, Winter Soldier has a fake arm that he uses. Finding out that Hydra's master plan in this is not what it was in the Captain America movie. It's to summon an interdimensional monster, or the Hydra monster, and we see all the tentacles and all that shit. It means it can go wherever it fucking wants. We're stuck in our universe, but that thing can go wherever the fuck it wants. Interdimensional being. We think Steve is blown to pieces. I didn't think that was actually the case, but apparently other people did. But he ends up not being gone, and yada, yada, yada. We end up running back into him. But yeah, at first we think Steve's blown away on the train, not Bucky. I thought the coolest part of this was, and I know there's comic book shit. I'm like I say all the time, I want my channel to be for everybody. But I saw it right away, was when she got, the coolest part was when she was fighting with the sword and the shield. That was badass. But I was like, oh, we got some, she's British, Excalibur shit going on right here. Some King Arthur shit, and King Arthur and stuff like that ties into the Marvel Universe. And also in the Dark Tower, Roland of Gilead, he's a fucking, yeah, she's going hard in the paint with the sword and the shield, and she looks at Steve, and she's fighting the monster back into the other dimension. Howard's there, she goes through it. So instead of being froze like Cap was, she goes into another dimension. And when she comes out at the end of this episode, she runs into Nick Fury, and he's like, welcome home, yada, yada, yada. And so instead of being unfrozen in our time, she comes back years later through another dimensional portal. And she's all sad, and she's like, yeah, the war's over, and yada, yada, yada. Sorry, I'm speeding through this one. I liked it just fine, but on Mom and I's ranking system, it kind of fell in the bottom of favorites. Favorites so far. But the sword shit was cool. Her fighting with a sword and a shield, that was badass. We get to What If Episode 2, which is, what if T'Challa became a Star-Lord? And now Chadwick Boseman did voice this, and he voices this character in the next 3, and they said that he was super, super just as pumped about doing this animated thing as he was about doing Black Panther, and it makes me sad to think that we don't have him anymore. It really does. When we all found out at work, and we were all in the assembly line, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, all just horrified. It sank the night. I mean, not only the night, but I remember like everybody on the line was like yelling up, and we're like, what? Speed through their little premise. Instead of them picking up Peter Quill, they pick up T'Challa because he runs outside the barrier of Wakanda because he wants to be an explorer, and him and his dad kind of get it, and he's like, oh, I want to explore, so they pick him up because they misread readings because Wakanda has all this special space energy, so they were like, it had to be him, so they picked him up on accident, and so they have him instead of Peter Quill. Mom and I thought this was the funnest episode, and I liked this ending of this episode the most, but we thought this episode was the funnest. I mean, that's what you expect when you have a Guardians-themed Black Panther crossover. Like, this one is definitely the funnest, and I think it's in our top favorites. The episode is definitely about, like, a surrogate family and your real family and how that works and how families, like I say in my Succession and Sopranos video, are complicated. Oh, your family isn't always blood. Sometimes your family is a surrogate family. Like that, it starts off with him, just like in the beginning of Guardians, he's going to get the Power Stone, but I like how they respect this Star-Lord. They're like, oh my god, it's Star-Lord, oh my god, Star-Lord, we know, oh my gosh, yeah, and then the fight's like, oh, do you want me to use the gun, do you want me not to? I really like that, I thought that was super fun, I loved all of that, but I did like that they switched it around there where he was respected and was like a Robin Hood of the galaxy, saving all these places and doing all these things, and everyone loves him, even the people out to catch him, and he's respected. I thought that was really funny and really cool, and I liked that a lot. I liked the Drax little cameo of him at the, I don't know if you want to call it a cameo, because like I said, this is canon, but at the bar, and because of T'Challa being Star-Lord, his family never got obliterated by Thanos, who works with him, so he's happily working at this bar taking selfies with T'Challa, which I really liked. I do like when Nebula shows up, and they change her character up a lot, and not only that, when he's trying to mend the relationship between her and Thanos, and says he takes up gardening now, like talking about his retirement plan after he, after he does the snap and all that stuff. I really liked that, and how he was trying to repair that relationship. I thought the jokes about genocide were funny because I thought that was kind of a shot at the nerd community who was saying, like, everybody was, or not even just the nerd community, just everybody who saw Endgame was like, oh, he's kind of right, and he's like, yeah, but it's right, and I thought that was kind of a funny meta joke that they were doing. Not at the nerd community, but a shot at, like, fans in general. It was just a very meta funny joke that he kept defending genocide in throughout the episode because people were arguing that online. Meet up with everybody in the bar with Thanos, Nebula, Yondu, of course, and all the Ravagers. We find out what they're going to go and steal from the Collector. Now, the Collector's a big badass in this, a big good fighter. And the Collector, if you don't remember him, he's the guy in Guardians, played by Benicio del Toro with the white hair. Thor and them give him the Reality Stone, but the Guardians give him the Power Stone. He's the one with all the people in cages, like a creep. They're going to go steal one of the things in his collection, and it can grow plants, and it can grow things at a rapid rate and all crazy and huge, and it could solve world hunger for the whole galaxy and all this stuff. So it's kind of funny that is also fixing Thanos' original plan without genocide, which is funny and kind of in there, which I liked. But yeah, so they're going to get this magical plant that the Collector has. I do know that it's called the Embers of Genesis. I just didn't think people remembered. They're going to steal the Embers of Genesis, a plant-based thing that can help solve hunger for the galaxies. I derailed for a second there, my camera died, but I like the Howard the Duck stuff. I thought that was really funny. I like that they keep using him, and that's pretty hilarious to me. And if you don't know about Howard the Duck, you're probably too young or whatever, but yeah, Howard the Duck. I really liked when he found the Wakanda ship. That was really cool, because Yondu in the episode makes him believe that Wakanda is gone and all this stuff, and when he finds when his necklace that he kept from Wakanda activates the ship, I thought that was the coolest part with the music coming in. That was really cool and really well done. All the fight scenes, I liked Thanos fighting with the Black Order, which in Infinity War and Endgame we saw were the children of Thanos, and we see Nebula go back to save him. We see the double and triple crosses between everybody. We see the Collector fighting, and this is where I want to talk most, is the Collector fighting with T'Challa and Yondu's fight when he finally shows up. But they show the weapons come up, and not only does he put on Hela's crown, and he mentions the Necro Sword, which is a comic book thing and is going to show up later in the MCU, we also see Thor's hammer, we see Cap's shield, and it's like, oh, they're gone. How'd you get those? That's sweet. Like, when Thanos was about to stay back and fight everybody, they call him crazy, and he says, no, mad, because he's the Mad Titan. Well, again, animation lent itself to this very well. T'Challa and Yondu getting away, and their whole fight, and letting this essentially slaves out of their cages to take on the Collector and take him down. I thought that was really cool and well done, and karma is discussed, so that's his karma. I thought that was very cool. T'Challa finds out after he gets the message on the ship that his dad's been looking for him and that Wakanda's not gone. So we get them going back to Wakanda and all of these characters interacting, which was really fun, really cool. Again, we get the call back to Thanos with his genocide stuff, and they're like, "What the fuck, dude? You are fucking insane." And yeah, I thought that was just a really cool moment. And T'Challa coming back into the throne room, it was all very well done. It was super cool, super fun. But the ending I really liked about this was we cut to Peter Quill, working at the Dairy Queen that is in Guardians 2, where Ego, his dad, and his mom are at. And he's working there, has his headphones on, listening to his music, and Ego shows up. So his dad shows up. So like I said, this whole episode's about family. T'Challa's surrogate family with the Ravagers meeting his real family still being his real family, and he still has his surrogate family. And then at the end we get family meeting again, and this time in a negative way. And I just really, I liked that ending. It was cool. So I totally lied. We're only going to do the first 3 episodes. And I'm going to do the other 2 in another video because I'm having technical difficulties. This episode was my favorite, and once again, if you haven't been watching my videos, that little corner of the MCU that is like film noir, Manchurian Candidate, kind of realistic spy thriller corner of the MCU is my favorite. I know Cap has powers and Winter Soldier has powers, but like Winter Soldier is my favorite movie, like technically speaking, out of the MCU, but not my top favorite of all. But I really like that corner of the MCU, so I really enjoyed this episode, and I thought that this was really well done. It was really cool. Now, then, like I said, it was very film noir. We're finding out who's killing off the Avengers. I like that we start in the donut shop where Nick Fury originally recruits Tony, and so Tony Stark gets off real quick, and they blame Black Widow. That in this episode, now in every episode, we get the Watcher narrating, and we get these really cool images of him, like I said. But in this one, he just goes through the Avengers movie, and I thought somebody was at my door. That freaked me out. But he explains the Avengers film essentially beat for beat, like, oh, this happened in one universe, but not in this one. Before people speculate real quick, Scarlett Johansson did not voice Black Widow in this, and it was not because of her lawsuit. This was done a long time before that was happening. Back to the episode. So Nick Fury's like, of course, I'm going to let Black Widow go find out what's going on. I know she didn't kill Tony, this, that, and the other thing. So she's running around going rogue, just like in Captain America Winter Soldier, very similar to that, and she is running around trying to figure out what's going on. She's doing that and trying to find Bruce Banner and whatever. We are going in the order of the films, so they went for Tony, he's off, so now they're going to the site where Thor's hammer fell in New Mexico, and that's where Nick Fury's at. These things are happening simultaneously, which I thought was really cool. Like, you have both of these storylines going, and it's going bing, bang, boom, which, of course, they're shoved into 33 minutes, so I thought they do a really good job with that, but this one especially they did a very good job with. But having those stories happening simultaneously helped that a lot. So we have Nick Fury dealing with Thor, and we have Black Widow trying to go find Banner. We end up seeing Thor get offed by Hawkeye, supposedly, and this is when, and like I said, we're giving away spoilers, this is when I realized, oh, this is some Ant-Man shit. I think Hank Pym, but I was like, this is some Ant-Man shit going on, because Hawkeye doesn't miss, Hawkeye doesn't let go early, and now all of a sudden he's shooting Thor on accident. We have Thor get offed, so now we're down Tony Stark, we are down Thor, and then Hawkeye goes into a cell, nobody talks to him, nobody sees him, and all of a sudden he's dead, so now we got Hawkeye down. After Thor gets offed, I really liked this. I love that they have Coulson there. I love Coulson. Coulson's the best. Don't we all love Coulson? But I really loved when Loki showed up. Very old school Loki, of course. Glorious Purpose Loki, here we go. But he's like, you offed a crown prince of Asgard. We got beef now. And he's talking to Nick Fury while he's doing that, he's on the phone with Black Widow, who's looking around for Bruce Banner, finds him, and they're squaring up with the military. We see Hulk get hit with something. We hear the military. Well, it's Thunderbolt Ross, and Thunderbolt Ross is going to be a big part of the upcoming MCU movies. But anyway, we distinctly hear them yell, we didn't shoot, and she's like, oh shit, here we go. So we know it's not the military, because they're making that very clear to us, and that's, again, when I was like, oh, some Ant-Man shit. I don't know who, but it's some Ant-Man shit, because we can't see it. Hulk blows up, which I was shocked by. I was like, oh my god, I thought they were gonna have like body parts rain down for a second, and I was like, that was gruesome, but it was still like, damn, what the fuck? So now we're down Tony Stark, Thor, Hawkeye, and Bruce Banner. And then they had, I liked that it was Edward Norton's Hulk, but now Mark Ruffalo, that was really cool. I just like that he gets to do this now. And I love Edward Norton, but if you know anything about him on set, you know why this didn't work out for him. You knew why the MCU was not a good fit for him. So Black Widow dips, she's out. Fury is still dealing with Loki and all his shit, trying to figure out what to do. Loki's like, if you don't figure out what to do by the time the sun comes up, I'm fucking everyone up. Fury tells Coulson, and I thought this was funny too. Once again, we're not getting Mephisto. He's like, make a deal with the devil or make a pact with a god or whatever the line is, and he goes out to talk to Loki. We don't see them talk on screen, but I did like him squaring up with that was sweet. That was cool. In this time, we see Black Widow trying to figure shit out on the computer, and her on the phone with Coulson, like, let me log in, and we get the funny reference to him loving Steve Rogers. Black Widow, Natasha, realizes I'm not alone, and she's trying to call Fury, can't get a hold of him. She ends up getting offed, we don't know by who, but I thought that was really creepy and really well done, and like Hitchcock-esque for an animated thing, and it was cool. I really like that a lot. And so she gets taken out. She got taken out, though. She said it was all about Hope, though. Hope. And Hope Van Dyne is the daughter of Hank Pym, who is Ant-Man's girlfriend, if you don't know. Ant-Man's girlfriend is Hope. I don't want to refer to her just as Ant-Man's girlfriend, but that's the easiest way to explain it for if you're not super into knowing everything, and that's okay. He listens to the voicemail, he puts it all together, he realizes, oh, and in this universe, Hope Van Dyne and Janet Van Dyne both worked for S.H.I.E.L.D., that is Hank Pym's wife and daughter. They are both dead, and I really liked the animation of Nick Fury walking up on the tombstone in the graveyard. That was really cool, really well done, and then that's when we see crazy-ass Hank Pym as Yellow Jacket, not Ant-Man, and he's totally lost his mind, he's squaring up with Nick Fury, he's going hard, and then we find out, oh no, this wasn't Nick Fury, this was Loki the whole time, and that was badass. I think I enjoyed this episode the most. I did, for sure. Like I said, I really liked the film noir aspect of it. I really liked just the animation, and I liked the darkness, how dark it was. I liked it. I really liked it a lot, but as I said, that little pocket of the MCU is my favorite, and that's kind of how this was. So Loki ends up taking Hank Pym away for all his wrongdoings, and then we get to the end, and Loki essentially has taken over the world, and was like, yeah, fuck that noise, and I thought I liked that. That was cool. But I also, earlier in the episode, we do get a Captain Marvel shout out, like, do I call her yet? Do I not call her yet? And I really liked that. I thought that was well done. But I also really liked at the ending where he's walking past all the caskets, and then we get to him moving the ice off of Cap's shield. So obviously Captain America hasn't been unthawed yet, and he says, all right, Cap. He says another Captain line, and we look over and we have Captain Marvel there already. And it's like, oh, okay, so even though we might not have had these heroes, we would still have heroes. You had a backup plan, obviously. I mean, he's had a backup plan, obviously. But I really like that, too. It was cool. But this episode of all was my favorite one, and I just think it was the aesthetic of it. I think it was the pacing of it. That little pocket is my favorite. That thriller, film noir, what's going on, who done it, oh, no, they're not the bad guy, oh, assassin. I like that shit. So the third episode, I think, out of the first 5 are my absolute favorite. Sorry we're not going to get into the last 2, but I'm having technical difficulties and I need to figure them out. So yeah, those are the first 3 episodes. Tell me what you liked about What If. Tell me what you didn't like about What If. Tell me if you don't understand what the fuck they're doing. Tell me if you just fucking hate it. I don't know. Also, remember for the giveaway, we're giving away these awesome Loki horns and the stand. So at 300 subs, all you have to do is subscribe and leave a comment on one of the videos. That's all you have to do to enter for this awesome giveaway. That's all you have to do. I'm going to try and fix this and get the next 2 talked about, but yeah, tell me what you liked about the first 3. Captain Carter, about T'Challa being Star-Lord, how much we miss fucking Chadwick Boseman. I like that they dedicated that episode to him. That was, I mean, he deserves so much fucking more than that, but still, that fucking sucks. It really does. And Earth's Mightiest Heroes all being taken out. Which one did you like the best? First 3 episodes. Let me figure this shit out. I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. Like, share, subscribe. Even if you don't want to subscribe, it's all good. If you don't want to be in the giveaway, it's all good. But leave a comment, leave a like, leave a dislike. It helps me tremendously. And I just like talking about shit. It makes me happy. So yeah, have a good one, and remember to stay safe out there, everyone.